Hi, my name is Melanie Albert. I'm the author of A New View of Healthy Eating, and I'm really excited to be here with spiritualadrenaline.me for their holiday dessert guide. And today what we're going to be doing is cooking a really delicious apple crisp. And we have some local Arizona organic apples. You can use organic apples anywhere you live. We are also going to be using some oranges and some lemons. Our oil is going to be a really healthy grapeseed oil that doesn't have a lot of flavor. And we are going to have a lot of fun with aromatherapy with some nice spices. We have cinnamon, we have nutmeg, we have cardamom, and we also have some delicious cloves. So the aroma is amazing, and it reminds me a lot of my childhood. So those are going to be the ingredients for the apple part of it. We're also going to be making a topping with oats, some grapeseed, some almonds, and some maple sugar. So I'm going to get started by first putting the ingredients for our topping into a bowl. We're going to put in our oats, our maple sugar, and I have to tell you, if you have never tried maple sugar, it is absolutely delicious. You'll enjoy the aromatherapy of it. It's really important to use good, healthy sweeteners, and you can mix and match. So if you don't have maple sugar, you can also use honey. But yeah, lovely aromatherapy there. We are going to actually cut our almonds a little bit, and what I will show you right here is a little bit of a pivot technique. So they jump around, but that's okay. So we're pivoting our knife, and we're just going to roughly chop the almonds. So I always use raw organic almonds. Roughly chop for our topping. A few more. And if you want all of the details for this recipe, you can look in my book, A New View of Healthy Eating. All of the steps are there, and there's some easy photos to actually show you through the process. Some almonds. If you don't have almonds or you don't care for almonds, you could also use walnuts, cashews, and just use the nuts that you like in your topping. So one thing that I like about the desserts that I make is that they're really versatile, so you really can mix and match. And like I said, if you don't have almonds, try other nuts. We will put those right into the topping, and I'm going to actually add the grapeseed oil and mix it around a little bit with my hands so that after we have our apples ready, we will be ready with our topping. So that actually looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is prepare our spices. So I really like to use fresh spices. The aromatherapy, the mindfulness of preparing the fresh spices. We have some delicious cinnamon, definitely great for the holidays. And we actually need a couple of teaspoons of these. We're going to add some to the topping as well as the apple part of this apple crisp. So it's very mindful. The aromatherapy, the spending time in the kitchen, this could be something fun to do with your kids. Grandparents might want to work with their grandchildren, and moms and dad. And now we have some nutmeg. So we've really used this microplane grater to grate the cinnamon, and now I have some nutmeg. And nutmeg is absolutely beautiful, amazing aromatherapy, wonderful mindfulness. Oh my gosh, I seriously wish you could smell this. It is so fresh and clean. So we're also going to use some cardamom, and the cardamom has kind of like a shell around the seeds. So I'm going to put it in my mortar and pestle and break off the shell, and then we will have the little cardamom seeds to use in our topping in our apple crisp. Again, oh my goodness, if you have never tried fresh spices, cardamom, another, I think all of these wintry spices just have so much freshness to them. And we are going to take out the shells, and we're really only going to use the seeds. A little bit more grinding here. What we want is to get these spices small enough that we don't get a huge big bite of them, that we really get the flavor. So what we're going to do now is what we call zesting our orange and our lemon. And we are basically just taking off a little teeny bit of the skin. And the very cool thing about this is that the essential oils from the fruit come out, and it just adds such a great taste. And we were talking about mindfulness. So with mindfulness in maybe even zesting our oranges, zesting our lemon, really grinding our spices, it's very calming and very peaceful. It allows us to slow down. It allows us to be grounded. It allows us to be in the present moment. And you just feel really calm. So when I talk about being mindful, I'm like literally in the moment, enjoying the aromatherapy of this orange. I just got the goosebumps. It smells so good. So it's part of the calmness, it's part of the settling down. During the holidays, often we rush around and we're running around with kids, family, parties. So if we can just maybe come into the kitchen, make some spices, zest a little orange, zest a little lemon, and stay grounded and be quiet, it will definitely make our holidays a little bit more peaceful. So I invite you to do that. So we have zested a lot of the orange. There's one thing that we don't want to do is get down into the white part of the orange. So we really want to do our best to go over the skin maybe about one time and just get some of the oils from the citrus into our dish. And then we have a lemon, so I'm going to zest a little teeny lemon here, same thing, nice and mindful. This equipment that I have here is actually called a microplane grater, and it just has little teeny blades on it, and that's what we're using. So we've got our lemon zesting, our orange zesting, and we're going to actually use those in our apples to make the apple crisp. And I think I'm just about done that part of it. So look at that. And just pause. You know, when you're cooking, just pause and take a moment and smell the aromatherapy. I mean, the aromatherapy, we go outside, we smell flowers, we smell fruit sometimes. We just feel a sense of calmness and part of that mindfulness with aromatherapy. So there's so much more to cooking than rushing around or getting a box out of the cupboard and maybe just pouring in some water or some milk and an egg. This is a whole process. So I really do hope you enjoy the process of cooking. And the recipes in my book are very mindful. You know, I'm using that word again, but there are a couple of really beautiful steps that you can take when you cook, and just stay with it and be present. And then the great thing is you end up with a really great meal. So I'm actually going to squeeze the lemon juice. This is a beautiful, juicy lemon. During the holidays, not lemon, this is a beautiful, juicy orange. And during the holidays, often citrus is in season. So it's a really great time to use citrus in all of your dishes. So there's our orange. I actually think this may have been a blood orange, which grow out here in Arizona. Look at that. Yum. I feel like I want to drink it, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use it in our apple crisp. So we have our orange juice, our lemon and orange zest. We will squeeze some lemon juice in it. I'm not going to worry about the seeds. I don't think they'll hurt me. There we go. A little lemon juice. A little bit more. So in my way of cooking, it's also very intuitive. So I have a recipe, with something like this. I use the recipe as a guide, but what I invite you to do is after you've made the recipe maybe once or twice, use your intuition. So if you like a little more orange, you add a little more orange. If you like a little more lemon, you add a little more lemon. If you like a little more cinnamon, you add a little more cinnamon. So just have fun with your recipe and really work with it intuitively. Just listen to your heart, listen to what you're craving, and create your dish that way. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put our apple ingredients into a saute pan, our apples, our lemon juice with our orange juice, and our zest, a little bit of the grapeseed oil, and our maple sugar that we love so much. So maple sugar is another one of those incredible sweeteners instead of sugar. We will add our cinnamon and our other spices to the dish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the stove. What I'm going to do is take this over to the stove and cook it maybe for about 20 minutes. I'll stir it occasionally and just make sure it doesn't burn. Let it kind of come to a little bit of a sizzle and simmer. And then we will gently put the topping on top of the apple. So we will bake it at about 350 degrees, maybe for about 25 or 30 minutes, and we're going to have a delicious apple crisp. Yeah, so I'm really excited. Our apple crisp just came out of the oven a couple of hours ago. It baked at maybe 350 degrees for about 25 or 30 minutes, and Tom is here to taste it, and I'm really anxious for you to try this.
What's in the apple crisp again? What are the ingredients?
Well, we have organic local apples. We have some raw almonds that were actually cooked. We have some really nice spices, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and we have some oats on top.
All right, let's give it a shot because I can't take it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
From the spiritual adrenaline point of view, everything in this is good for you. You have antioxidants, which we recommend. You have low glycemic load sweeteners that won't spike your blood sugar. You know, 92% of people in early recovery have elevated blood sugar.
Oh, wow.
So this is a critical issue for people in recovery. And you have a bunch of healthy fats in the almonds and other things. So if it tastes good, it passes my test. It's phenomenally delicious. You will never know it's actually healthy for you.
Wow.
At the same time, and what's great about this is it's really delicious. Is you can actually eat more. You can eat more than if you're eating something made with cheap ingredients and fattening ingredients. So thank you so much, Melanie, for this recipe and other recipes. You can check out Melanie's website at this is so good, expnutrition.com. And check out her new book, A New View of Healthy Eating. Correct?
You got it.
All right. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us at Spiritual Adrenaline.